What's going on, everyone? Soft Trades here. Figured I'd come on and do another recap. The market was really good. We had a lot of nice runners, and a lot of names actually opened up. Levels were respected. Figured I'd come on here and do a quick recap and kind of show you guys how I went about my day and how I made some money today. So let's get right into it. So first trade here would be on this IDAI. We had a nice 5-minute flag right here. High volume push over our pivot. You guys can see our pivots all the way from yesterday at the close, $4.10. We get a nice push through 410. We come down, get a nice 5-minute flag, low volume pullback, exactly what you want to see. EMA 9 lining up with that 410 pivot. We got long right here. I believe it was $4.14 if I'm not mistaken. Got a nice move here in the 460s. We peeled some off here in the 460s, obviously. Then we get this nice flush over here back in the 430s, and that's when I take the remainder of my position off. Fast forward a little bit later, and I noticed that we started to form this kind of cup formation over here. So that's when I told myself, okay, hey, if we form this cup, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for the 410 retest to see if it gives us the handle. We get our handle look right here. You guys can see our cup. We complete our handle all the way down in a 410. I added 410.5, so my average was $4.10, and there was a 5 at the end. Just TD, like half increment, whatever, 410.5. Anyways, we get a very nice handle look here to complete our cup and handle. We get a nice push here into 420s. I peel some off in the 420s. We get another push here into 430s, peeled more off in the 430s. And then I told myself I'm looking for 5 plus. And that is why I didn't take any other profits until we got to $5. Now, I didn't hold anything into $5. I did sell the remainder of my position right over here at $4.90. And that's just because at the time the tape was beginning to stall. We were coming into this area. It was kind of acting as a supply zone, if you want to say. Every time we'd come into it, we did sell off. And like I said, the tape was kind of getting very weak in a way. And so I decided to take my remainder of my position off at $4.90. Even though it hit $6.60, it is what it is. It did honestly run a lot more without me. But I came up with a game plan. I came up with a target, and I followed that game plan. And when my target was met, I did what I said I was going to do. And that's what matters the most to me, which is following the game plan that you come up with. So that's how I traded IDAI. I think it was really well. Next name we traded on the day was NCMI. I know in yesterday's recap we spoke about this 5-minute wick to body zone right here, and I told you guys that if it reclaimed this level, then we would see what would happen, and that's exactly what happened. So we reclaim this level here, we lose the level into the open, we bounce off the EMA 200, quickly reclaim this level on very high volume. You guys could see this push, nice stair step up, and then what do we get right after that? Well, we get back over our high a day, which was 49-cent area. We make a new high all the way into 53s. We pull back into this previous high on low or descending volume, and we create this nice 5-minute flag look. Once I see this 5-minute flag over our pivot, over our EMA, over our VWAP, and with consistent bidding on the tape, I decided to get long at 50 cents, and then right when I get long, we get a nice push into 52s. I peel some off. We get a push into 53s, and that's when I jotted down this trend line. We get a push into 53s. I peel more off into 53s. We then have this 5-minute flag look over here. That is when I added some more, peeled some more off here. We kind of started to consolidate, hit some more right here on the curl as it was trying to break through this upper trend line, trying to get momentum going. Then we get a nice flush right here. We flush all the way through 50, and I actually stop out of my position. So right here, you guys could see, hit some, scaled out, and then I sell the remaining right here, right when we flushed through 50. Reason I sold out completely is because a big seller walked in, and this seller dropped us right through our support level, and there was really no healthy pullback in a way, into this support level. It was just a quick flush, nothing for me to do but kind of get out of my position and, not expose myself to this risk. So I get out of my position right away. As soon as I get out of my position, though, bidders step in very heavily. We reclaim the EMA 9. As soon as we reclaim the EMA 9 and close over it, I smacked some at 51.4. We got a nice push from our bidders back into 52.5s, our upper trend line, peel some off there into 52.5s. Then we get a nice push into this pre-market level over here of 54 cents. That's when I started to peel more right over here. And then we started coming up into our other 5-minute wick to body zone that we plotted yesterday. And I started peeling more off into basically this pre-market high area. Set some limits right here at 57.5 and 58. They were both triggered. I did have to step away, and when I did come back to my desk, I was able to close my runners out at 53 cents. If I was at my desk, I would have closed my runners out right here when we broke and confirmed the EMA9 as resistance, because as I said yesterday, when a stock does get below its EMA9, it normally signals, a trend reversal. So if I was at my desk and I seen that, this is where I would have, liked to close my runners out. But like I said, I did have to step away, and so I kind of had to bite the bullet on that. But really nice trade here. Our zones from yesterday were working out today. Here's that 5-minute wick to body zone working today. Here's that 5-minute wick to body zone from yesterday also working today. So really nice trades here on NCMI. Next trade on the day would be SABS. SABS was a 5-minute flag. As you guys could see on the 5-minute, we get a downtrend break right here on very high volume. We push, we close over our downtrend line, forming this kind of 5-minute 3-bar, 5-minute flag look. We have high volume, low volume pullback, and I get long right here at 71 cents. We get a nice push here from my ads. We get a push here into 74s. I peeled some off in a 74. We break through VWAP and we come up into this zone over here, and that's when I started peeling more into 77s. We then get a flush right here, right through VWAP, and as soon as we broke through VWAP on the 1 minute and closed below it, right over here, that is when I exited the remaining piece of my position at 74 cents. Reason for exiting the runners right there is because we broke below VWAP and we could not get back over VWAP. That told me, like, hey, VWAP's resistance now. There's a high probability that this is going to continue lower. And sure enough, we did continue lower. So I realized that and I reacted properly, and I avoided, having to stop out for a loss. I was able to stop those runners out for a small gain. Fast forward later in the day, we did come back above VWAP. Here's that 5-minute wick to body zone right here, by the way, guys. You guys see it? 5-minute wick to body acted perfectly as resistance later in the day into the open. Fast forward a little later, we do get this 5-minute 3-bar again, 5-minute flag look. High volume push, low volume pullback. I decide to add it. I get long at 72 cents. I get long at 73 cents, risking 72 cents. We get a nice push here into 74s. I peel some off 74.5. We get another push into 75, 76, peel more off there. Then I peeled more off into 76s. Let it do its thing. I was letting it consolidate, see if we wanted to come up and create new highs. And then this thing just flushes on us. It flushes all the way through VWAP. And I was forced to close the runners out at a small loss. I believe it was 72.5 if I'm not mistaken. So it was nothing crazy. It didn't make me go red or anything like that. But it was just very unfortunate because this kind of came out of nowhere. It was a big stuff candle, and there was really no telling that this was going to happen, other than, all the rejects here and the big walls on the tape. But I wasn't really thinking much about it because at the time there were a lot of other names opening up. So I figured, hey, momentum might follow. We might get some follow through. Overall, green on the name from this trade and this trade over here. So I think I played it pretty well. I managed risk well. I didn't, try and hold this and hope that it would come back up. As soon as we cracked my level, I said, yup, I'm out. That's it. Moving on. Next trade on the day, we covered NCMI, we covered CXAI, we covered SABS, IDAI. Oh no, we did cover IDAI, sorry. So I should have went to CXAI. CXAI, really nice here in the morning. 15-minute flag, beautiful look, really, really simple. We break over our initial high a day, so let me get to a smaller time frame just to show you guys that. So here's our initial high a day right here, $3.05, $3 pivot. And we ended up forming, it was a 5-minute flag at first. That's where I got long right off the 305 pivot, added 313s. Got long right here because of the 5-minute flag look. You guys could see high volume push, low volume pullback. We then get some pushes into near high a day. I start peeling some off into 330s, 320s. And then right here I peeled more off because I felt like this might flush because it did not open up yet. And so I was just trying to mitigate some risk. This ad right here was on a 15-minute, and that's when I noticed that we were forming a 15-minute flag. Once I noticed that we were forming a 15-minute flag here, I got some more on right here, and then we got a break through our little downtrend line here, and we push into high day. I peel more off in a 440, and then right when we get our push here, I'm sorry, 340. Right when we get our push here in at $3.60, I actually decided to sell full. And the reason I decided to sell full was because this was taking forever, and we made kind of a parabolic move. It kind of made me think that we were just going to come down and, not really hold its gains. It did cost me a lot of money. I should have been a little more patient. I should have read the tape a little better and tried to stay in the name a little longer and put some, conviction in it. But overall, I did get out of the trade here. So it was a trade from $3.13 all the way to, I believe, $3.67, if I'm not mistaken. So really nice trade here. I mean, we did get a very nice win out of it. Later in the day, I did play this downtrend break, ended up getting stopped out. I stopped out because there really wasn't nothing, there wasn't anything really going on. So you guys can see we have a little downtrend here. 5 minute gets over our downtrend. We close over our downtrend. I added on the retest here. And then I did sell out of this for a small profit here. So this was, I think, 470 to like 477. Wasn't anything crazy. There was just too much indecision for me. I couldn't really get a good read on the tape. And I was like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get out of this and let it let it see if it's going to give me a proper setup where I'll have good risk to reward and I'll actually have my edge. And that's where this flag came right at the right time. So we kind of had that little flush, avoided that. We curl up, reclaim over 480s, and then create new highs. Then we flag into our 477 pivot right here with also our EMA 9 lining up with that pivot. So once I noticed this, I added right here off of 480s. And then there was a big 495 seller right over here. As soon as I seen that seller, I started peeling some off into 490s, peeled 493, peeled 494. Then I let that 495 do its thing because we were chipping. However, it kept on restacking, so we kind of just kept going back and forth. We kept going up and down, and finally until the bidders were able to chip this seller completely. We chip the seller completely. We get a push in a fives. I sell out fives, 505 if I'm not mistaken. The reason I sold out is because I thought it was going to do a move like this. I thought it was going to create new highs, and I thought it was going to dump right away. And because of that, I decided to sell out right over here at $5.07. It did end up putting in a screw you move all the way to $9. It is what it is. I made some money on this. I'm green on the name. That's all that matters. Another trade that we took on the day was HILS. This was a nice 5 minute flag here. So you guys could see, where is it? I believe it was a 10 minute flag, not a 5 minute flag. Yeah, right here. So high volume push, low volume pullback. You guys could see it right here. I got long on this one right here at $1.27. Started peeling some off here in a 128, 129 into the ask. Ended up hitting a little more right here at 127. And then I sold full right here for basically break even at $1.29. Only reason I got out of the trade was because there was nothing going on. There wasn't any bidders, there wasn't any sellers. It was kind of just consolidating, and I wanted to avoid this. I had a feeling this was coming. And why did I have a feeling this was coming? Because normally when there's no buyers, no sellers, if either a big buyer comes in or a big seller comes in, it's gonna move the price in that direction very drastically. And so when I noticed there wasn't really anything going on here, I flattened my position because I didn't want to get caught in a stuff move. It did end up stuffing. Thank God I wasn't in this because this would have been ugly all the way down to 115 from 127. So avoided that. Overall, it was a tiny green if you want to look at it from a green or red standpoint. Very tiny green on this name. Next trade on the day would be OCEA. OCEA, I believe it was a break even on this 5 minute flag. Yeah, so OCEA, high volume push, low volume pullback into our EMA. Also previous pivot over here of $6.77. I get long right over here, $6.80. We get a push here in the 690s. I sold out completely because the tape was not, there wasn't much action here. Once I got in this flag, I was in this flag for maybe a couple of minutes. Yeah, I was in this flag for a couple of minutes, and I noticed like, hey, there's nothing really going on here. Just like the previous name Hills, I don't want to get caught in some kind of flush. So I rather just close my position out here for the little gain that I have and go find the trade that's actually going to make me money. And that's exactly what I did here. So I got a little scalp out of it, 680 to 690s. sold out, didn't look at it again, and we ended up flushing all the way to 650. So kind of realizing that these names are, they don't have volume, they don't have momentum. I'm avoiding taking these little losses, because if I stayed in this and then stopped out right here, that would be annoying. So good job to myself for noticing that there's low volume on these names at times, and it's better to just sit it out than try to get in it just because your edge is there. So props to that. Next trade on the day for me, which would be the only loser, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades on the day, one loser, and the only loser was this AUUD. So AUUD, notice we had this 10-minute flag off of our zone. Right here we had this little zone, wick to body right here, you guys could see it. Added this flag right here, 110, hit some more in a 105s, got my average down to like 107. Then decided I was risking one. We come down over here, we break through $1, and I stopped my position out at $1 exactly once we cracked it. And then I decided to hit some in the zone right here. I hit some in the zone because I figured like, okay, hey, we broke our little downtrend that we had here. We're holding this zone. Let's put some on here at 98 cents and see if we get that curl back into $1.05 and start making that push into $1.20, etc. All the way up to these levels over here. That would have been best case scenario. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and we did fall through this zone, and I was forced to cut my position at 96 cents from 98. So this was the only loser on the day. Setup was there, bidders were there, sellers were there. Simply sellers just overpowered the bidders, and it just did not end up working out in the favor I wanted it to. We did have the setup, we did have the high volume push, we did have the low VPA pullback, we did have the bidders, we did have EMA and VWAP right at our pivot. So setup was there. It's just a matter, it failed. It is what it is. There's really nothing I can do. The best trade of the day, INPX. This was amazing. INPX, very simple. 5-minute flag right here. We do have some higher selling pressure. It's okay. We did have a beautiful 5-minute flag over this 4-hour pivot lining up with VWAP and our EMA right here off of 44 cents. I got long right over here. Get a nice pop into high day. I believe I was long 46 cents if I'm not mistaken. Get a pop here in a 49s, start peeling in a 49s. Get another push through 49, start peeling into these 4-hour levels. We had 49 level, we had 54 level, we had 59 level, and I'm just peeling as we're going up. What am I doing in the trade to kind of keep me in the trade? I'm looking for those consistent bidders. I'm looking for the 1-minute trade line to continue holding just like we are here. We're riding the trade line up. We got consistent bidding. Times in sales is flowing. There's momentum here. There's clear momentum here. We're having a breakout and we're getting follow through. We get a nice push all the way up into here, 58s. Sell out of my position here right in front of this 59 resistance. Get a push in a 50s, and then over here I noticed like, hey, we have this little 5-minute flag look, and I don't know if it was on the 10 or the 5. Yeah, no, it was on the 5. So we have this 5-minute flag look, hit some more right here. Ended up getting stopped out once we broke our EMA 9. That's when I noticed, I believe it was a 15-minute flag. So I started to notice this coming into our EMA. So as you guys could see right here, we kind of had this 15-minute look, high volume push, low volume pullback all the way into our EMA. I hit some more right here off 50, and I end up stopping out of my position. I'm trying to see the scales. So I added more right here. End up stopping out of my position right here on the break below 50 at 49 cents. So even though I'm taking the loss here, I'm still managing risk very well. When I'm getting my reward, I'm getting 4, 5, 6, 7 cents. When I'm managing my risk, I'm managing 1 to 2 pennies. So it's very minimal risk. Not anything that's going to make you go red from the trade that you took over here. Stopped out of this 49 and said, okay, hey, now I got to wait for some kind of confirmation. That's when I waited for this downtrend break. As you guys could see, we got the downtrend break. We started retesting our downtrend line. I hit some here off of 49 cents. We get a nice push here in a 51s, peeled some off in a 51s, and that is when I started going crazy on this name. We break over VWAP. We kind of flag right here in a VWAP. You guys could see this. 5-minute breakthrough VWAP, low volume pullback back in a VWAP for the retest. Hit more off VWAP, came back up to our 59.60 cent resistance. Scaled some more out there, Came back down to retest VWAP. We held, no reason to exit. If we broke 54, I would have looked to start scaling out to, de-risk myself and mitigate some risk. Although that did not happen, buyers came back in. You see we got a nice curl on the volume, some nice volume divergence. Got us through our 59.60 level here. Then we end up flagging into 59 here. The volume's kind of iffy now, but at the time it was a lot cleaner. We had a very nice flag here, kind of 3-bar look into 59. I hit some very hard on 60 right here. And as soon as I hit some very hard on 60, we get this nice little slurp right back into highs. Peeled some off into highs right into 60. Peeled more into 60s, 61s, 64s. I'm peeling right here very heavily because I have a lot of size and I want to de-risk this size immediately. I don't want to sit in the position with all of this size and kind of let it do its move. So I decided to scale it out as soon as we met these previous highs right here in case we did start to get rejected. Got scales 61, 62, 64s. And then that is when we started to kind of open up here. We got a nice push into previous highs right here of 65. Obviously, I'm going to be peeling a lot here because there is a high probability we can double top and fail. So I started peeling more off here, 64.7, 65s right here. Then we get the break through that level, peeled more into 66, peeled more into 69, peeled more into 70, 73, right over here, right into 74s. Now I'm on to my runners, and at this point, I literally told myself and I told the chat, hey guys, I'm just going to sit on this. I'm going to take it into after hours. I'm going to see what we're going to do. So I take it into after hours. We get a nice push here into 80 cents. I peeled some off at 79.9. We get another push here. This is when I told Chad I was looking for $1. We hit 99 cents. I sold the remaining piece of my position here at 98 cents. And then I did add some back over here because we did have this 5-minute flag look. And I'm just going to kind of ride this. I don't have much. Risk off to 74, no problem. It's a very small position. And, we'll see if we do get that dollar break and continue higher. But overall, this right here was the breadwinner on the day. This was the trade of the day. This is the one that made the day for me. And we got a nice 61% out of this name. We did have 55 average, if I'm not mistaken. But we did average up on this flag over here. And that brought our average up to 60 cents. So from 60 to there, all the way to our exit, 61% gain. Really beautiful trade. IDAI, here's that cup and handle that I mentioned. Really nice trades. Waited for the retest, got the break, told Chad I was looking for 5+. IDAI, really nice 5-minute flag over the pivot. You guys can see it here. That's the first trade we took on that. INPX, here's another flag trade. This is off of 40. Yeah, this is off of 46. Nice push all the way into 59s. NCMI. Yeah, this is from today. NCMI, this is just a kind of 1-minute breakdown of the trade, but here's the actual trade on the flag on the 5-minute, all the way into that pre-market high area. So really nice trades. Here's CXAI. Really nice trades on the day. Only that one that didn't work out. It is what it is. But, those are all my trades on the day, guys. I hope you guys found this beneficial. If you guys are interested in any daily watch lists, anything like that, post a lot of that stuff on my Twitter, as you guys can see. You guys can go ahead and give me a follow at @SolidTrades with an underscore at the end. I will leave a link down in the description below if you guys do want to check it out. Feel free to. If you don't, that's up to you. But yeah, those are all my trades on the day. Hopefully someone found this useful, and we'll catch you guys in the next recap. Thanks.